Hello, everyone. This is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome to another card making video, and thank you so much for being here. Hi, Louise. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Suze. I hope you guys are doing okay. I know that I had the 6:05 time frame. I was in a call with my mom and my brother regarding my dad and the doctor and whatever. And so I just didn't know how long it was going to take. And I decided to put it to 6:05. And I know I don't want to be like a little bit unfair to the others that probably received the notification and are waiting to. Sorry, I'm just looking at my computer here. That are waiting for the 6:05 time frame. So in the meantime, and while we figure things, hi Carrie, welcome and thank you. Um, while we get things all set up and wait for some people to come over, I just want to let you guys know and remind you that we have a wonderful starter kit special this month. If you want to become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you will get, on top of the regular offer, which is the $125 for $95, you will get for free $82 worth of product that includes everything that it's in color. So I mean, if you're interested, just let me know. I will gladly tell you more about it. And I just think it's such a good offer. I wish I could just have that. Maybe they can do it for us. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Adrian. How are you guys doing today? So, anyways, there's that. I also want to remind you that today is free shipping day from Stampin' Up! And I know that a lot of people are making the most out of it. So, if you are having doubts, just remember, I don't know, in some cases, it's a good 10% worth of savings. So I have my little order ready. Mostly, I have cardstock because that always kind of increase the price. So that just make the most out of that today. I want to tell you, I don't have a beautiful drawing here, beautiful, to remind you guys that you will probably. Okay, let me see if I find it. No, I can't find it. Anyways, our my free gift for this month, it is one of the memory packs. If you have order for $50 before shipping and taxes, you will receive that. If you are not interested in that, I am perfectly okay getting something else, and we can talk about it. If you are in the coloring corner class, then let me know and I can order instead any blend markers that you don't have. Okay. Hi, Rosie. Yes, cardstock. And Carrie saying, yay for free shipping. I am right there with you, girl, because you just don't realize how much free shipping is how much shipping actually is until you're about to close and you're like, dang it. I had like these so perfectly, put in all the prices, all everything. And then it's like, that's not fair. That's not cool. Okay, I'm going to go here to the crafting table, ladies. Here we go. So we're going to be doing, and I'm just going to show you guys the thing. Okay, this is not working very well, but it does work. It moved. So it moved here. Anyways, so this is kind of the card we're going to be making. It's called a butterfly card. This is completely disheveled because that's my little template, right? But we are going to be using some of our new products, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm bringing them all in here. So I have bought. Let's start with. I'm going to be using probably one of my favorite DSPs from this catalog, guys. I absolutely love it. It's called Thoughtful Journey, and Yeah, it's just so soft. The colors, it's I don't want to say my fave because I end up liking it all, but it's really, really close to my fave. And then we are going to be using these Flowers of Beauty with well, I'm not going to be using the stamp set, guys. I'm just going to be using the dies because this is very, very useful. And for whatever reason, I took the other stamp set I was using. Does that make so much sense, right? Um, Let me bring it so you guys can see it. Just because this stamp set does not have any sentiments, right? I kind of get stuck when I use just one set. So I will be using this Dear Friend from Spotlight on Nature. I really like the font on this one. So this is the one I'm going to be using today. And we'll see what else it's needed. The last thing I'll be using today are parts of these, and they are already cut. You guys know how I work that. But yeah, parts of that memory pack. Guys, I just love these memory packs, right? I think they are so useful. To create cards, to create scrapbooking. I just love them. I know you know because I offer them off. I offer them often when it comes to the gifts, but I just find them so beautiful. And then on top of that, with that beautiful paper, it's just yeah, it's just perfect, I think. Okay, let me remove everything out of the way in here and we can get started. So we are going to need, guys, let me move this a little bit, guys, so I can show you. Okay, so we are going to need a piece of Mossy Meadows that measures 11 inches by 5.5, score at 5.5. So just in the middle, I'm going to like really push this because it's a little rebellious. Hi, Tina, welcome. Whoops. See, there's another little piece there. So that is, and all the parts of the card are going to be on Mossy Meadow. Now, the first layer I'm going to be using, or the bottom layer, is going to be in Fresh Freesia because I just thought it was going to mix and match so beautifully with that paper. And we are going to add the layers right now. And this is one of those cards that will need layers in the front and in the back. I mean, yeah, in the front and in the inside. So let's go ahead and add these ones. So this is the paper we're going to be using today. Isn't this just gorgeous? Like, I just want to go there and sit down and look at the sky and, have a good day. It's beautiful. So let's see and look at the back. Just love it. I was actually kind of like sad of using it. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to buy another one because I don't want these to be, just I like it. I just like it. Anyways, let's see. I am making sure that is center. It's much easier if you're using glue, right? Than if you're using your Stampin' Seal Plus. And look how beautiful this looks against the Mossy Meadow. Doesn't that give it like a soft tone? I thought initially of doing white, of course. I've been using white a lot for the middle layer. But I just wanted to like try something new, and I decided that going on with the Fresh Freesia was going to create, I don't know, a really nice contrast. So this is going to be the front. We'll decorate this later. We don't need to decorate it now, but definitely we need to add the layers. Like I said before, I always feel that adding the layers before you include the rest of the things here in the inside makes a lot of sense. Now I am bringing the other two pieces for here for the inside. So bottom line, you're going to need 3 pieces of Fresh Freesia that measures 5 3/8 by 5 3/8, and then one extra. So the DSP will measure 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and I am using this one, and I'm just mirroring this here, and I hope it looks okay. In my brain, it looks really cool, but that usually happens in my brain, and I'm not sure if it always translates to the paper, but we're going to give it a try. Because I thought, well, maybe we should use something less busy. um, like this, the back side of this, and actually was the back side of this. But I'm just having such a hard time not using these bees, right? So hopefully this works to our advantage. So let's cross our fingers. What I did when cutting these, and I don't know, it's very not difficult, but it's harder to see the difference. When I cut this, was making sure that I cut them kind of to work the best towards what's going to go here in the middle. So I don't know if you remember, this is going to have a wider variety here of stuff. So I try to make the most out of these on the left side, and then of these on the right side. So just be mindful when you're cutting it. I saw this from Srusti Patil. I have shown you several times. We've done a couple of her cards. She has a beautiful channel called Srusti Patil here in YouTube, and she does a lot of these like special interactive pop up stuff, and I just love her creativity for the folds. The cards she make usually are not super decorated. Most of the time, they are. The way I feel is they are there just to show kind of um, how the card will look with some paper, but they are not exactly all decorated. A couple of things I did different. Well, obviously, the first thing I did different was making it smaller. Whoops, that's a lot of blue girl. Making it smaller. Hers, I don't even know what her size is, but it's pretty big. And I just made it 5.5 and 5 by 5.5. Could I do it 4.25 by 5.5? Most likely. I know I've said this in the past, guys, but it's sometimes it's hard for me to make it smaller when you have some of these. A whole lot less because of the calculation, a whole lot more because the inside needs to pop up, and I just feel that you lose quite a bit of beauty when you make the card smaller. Um, if I have time, maybe later in the week or so, I will try to make the adjustments for the A2 card. Or maybe Suze, who's the master in here, can do that for us while I'm making this one. So we are going to need, guys, okay, we have now our first part, right? We're going to need, the first thing we're going to need are, I'm going to bring them up here. So we're going to need 3 squares, and these are 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, and 2 of them are similar, and we're going to do the first one. So let me put this out of the way in here and bring our first square. So we're going to align this. Let me make sure that you guys are seeing. We're going to align this at 5/8. Okay, and we're going to score. We're going to turn around, align a 5/8, and we're going to score. Okay, so that's the first 2 steps. Now we are going to align these in. So let me put it up here because it's probably easier to see. So we have, kind of like those scores, and it creates a point where they meet, right? So with that in our, I don't know how to explain it. I guess what I'm trying to say is we're going to score these diagonally, but we're going to do it on this side where we have that crossing area. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if it does not make sense. Um, we're just aligning it again, point and point diagonally, and we're going to score. And now what we have is an area here where all score lines kind of meet, right? Now, with, I'm trying to remember this, guys. I made this, I have to be honest, guys, I made only one other card very sad. I had many ideas. I just lacked time. So we are going to, yeah, just like this. We're going to align. Here is that, and I can probably make this clearer if you can see. So here's that area where all the score lines meet, right? So here's right that area, and we're going to align it to 3/4, to 1 3/4 in here, okay? And it's right there, making sure this is straight. And I am using, maybe this way, okay. I am using the lines in the trimmer, so all these lines to guide me so it's straight, right? Okay, back in here. So I am aligning this point and this point with this line in here, and this point with this line here at the 2 3/4. But we need to move that all the way to 1 7/8. And so very slowly, just move there to 1 7/8. Is it hard? Yes, it's really, what we're doing is really guessing. So my hope is that somewhere near 1 7/8. I don't know really, but that is our hope, right? So give or take 1 7/8, and we are going to cut this area, okay? So we get rid of this. So this is all the area where those score lines were, and this is the area that we need, or this is the piece that we're really going to need. So before I fold that, we're going to do the next one. So remember, we have two other pieces. These two pieces are scored similar, so this one is already scored. And it's pretty much the same process, guys. We're going to align at 5/8, sorry. Thank you, Suze. See? That's what I wanted to say. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and align again at 5/8. Okay. Same process. We're going to turn and align at 5/8 and score. So we have more or less the same thing. And we're going to score on the diagonal with the side previously scored on the top. Sus, she's a genius. I am just so glad that she translates for me. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to line this diagonally. We're going to score, and we're going to create the same thing. Okay? So there you go. Very, can you be seen? There it goes. That's very simple. The next step for this piece is cutting. And what we're going to cut is right there with where all those lines kind of coincide. We're just going to give it a good cut, straight cut. If you feel a little like hesitant, and sometimes I do, you can use the trimmer. You can use a, let me try to align this perfectly. Or well, maybe not perfectly, but align it. You can use a ruler and score it if you want, just to follow and cut. Whatever makes it easier for you. I have been doing it, just eyeballing it, and we all know I'm not a good person with the scissors, and it's worked well. But you can totally go ahead and score and cut, and that's kind of what we're doing. Now the next step, let me remove these, take it down to the trash, is we're going to cut in here. It's almost like a straight line. So you know, here is the end of that score line, and we're just going to cut like a straight line. In other words, we're just cutting the edges of these pieces because it just makes it easier to fold, right? We've done that, been doing that very often recently. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Elizabeth is mentioning that you shared it on Facebook. So please, if you're liking the video, share it on Facebook. Okay, so back to the three pieces we have. Now we have two pieces that we're going to go ahead and use later. So I'm going to put these on the back there, and we're going to bring this one here. So we're going to do what you guys can imagine. We're going to like really give that a good score. We're going to crease that and give it a good crease, because it's really important in this case for things to be well creased. Hi Anita, welcome. And now we are creasing both of these, all of them actually, we are creasing them mountain. Sorry, I kind of totally forgot how to say mountain. Okay. Now and I'm glad that this happened. I'm gonna point out something to you. So can you see in here that this is not folding perfectly? So that just means that my scoring was not the best of the scoring or the most accurate there in the middle. I am going to hold these together and kind of push these a tiny bit in here, right? So I'm holding these kind of very well aligned and pushing that way. So it's a little better. It does not affect a whole lot, but I just want to make sure that this is going to be okay. I'm just making sure that I have everything correctly. I think I do, guys. I'm very excited because that's one of the reasons why I make several cards, is because it makes me feel very sure that I know what I'm doing. I just made one, guys. I just made one. Okay, the next step is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to bring my tear and tape, and I'm going to put the pieces in here and in there already. And we're going to do the same thing in here. So we're going to put a piece of tear and tape there on those little flaps we just created, okay? There we go. So we have the flaps ready. And what we're going to do is we're going to align. So we're creating, let's say that this is a line, this an imaginary line between these 2 points, right? And we're going to align those 2 points with the top edge of our card, kind of like that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to grow up here, guys, so I can see better if it's really aligned. And then the second thing that we need to align is that center score line with the middle score line in our card base. So there you go. Is that looking good? Let me see. That looks fairly okay. Okay, so again, we're gonna align this imaginary line with the top of our card base and the middle of that or this score line here in the middle of this piece with our middle card base. I am going to move this a tiny bit, guys, so I can see if it's really well well centered there. And what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to fold these over. I'm going to hold these. Of course I moved it. There it goes. Making sure again. There it goes. There it goes. So I'm going to fold these and bring my take your pick. Thank you, Anita, for sharing on Facebook. And I'm going to remove those, okay? And I'm trying not to move anything, but of course we're going to make sure that it is well aligned. So before we glue it at all, we adhere it. So because we move things, right? So there you go. Still fairly okay, and I'm going to make sure it is. It needs, I'm glad I have not pushed, guys. Don't push. When you're doing these things and using tear and tape, just don't push before, right before you glue it, because that gives you some leeway. I think that is good. Okay. The reason why I'm not using glue, it's mainly because it takes some time to dry, and I just want to make sure that we're able to finish this on time. Okay, now that one is very easy because this one is set up, it's perfectly set up. Okay, now I'm going to do this, get that. Here is the thing, we could have totally cut that beforehand. She didn't, and I just got used to do it and practice it like that. And I have to say, guys, I should have done that ahead of time because I just am so bad at cutting. Hi, Mitzi, how are you? I'm just so bad at cutting things when they're already there, like against the border. It's it's a complete disaster. I am not sure why, but it's a complete disaster. And I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. But you guys can tell how much I struggle. I don't know. You can see other people and they just cut them and it's so easy. And I just every time feel very intimidated by that. Thank you, Mitzi. I appreciate those kind words. So I can still see that there. Can you guys see it? See, it's minimal, but I can see it, and it really drives me insane. So here goes, right? That's why I shouldn't do. I should have done it the other way. I just did not have enough practice to cut it well, or to calculate what things that I can't do. So bottom line, when you have the square, you can take those off. Now I am just folding this to make sure this is going to fit and this is going to fold well, and it does. Now the other two pieces to this card are two pieces of, and I have them here, guys, because I forgot. Oh goodness, here they are. Sorry. So these measures 4¼ by 2⅛, and you need two of them. And we're going to score these. You kind of guys figured that out, right? I hope. At this point in time of working together, I think you know what I'm going to do. So we need to score these at 5/8, right? So we go score at 5/8. We increase in 5/8, and that's 1¼ and then we'll move all the way to 3 5/8. Okay, so 3 5/8 is somewhere around here. If you are, let me move this a little bit here. I'm sorry, guys. If you're not sure, then you can look in here and see on the right side of the trimmer, it's telling us that that's in 5/8. So that is in a good place. Okay, so we have our pieces. We're going to go ahead and leave that there. We're going to do what we've been doing, which is cutting those corners. We're going to cut them, all 4 of them. That always takes some time, but not a whole lot, guys. It's not a big deal. This is not really a complicated card. If you, I mean, it has a few steps to it, but I think I always find a little harder when you're making some of those tri-charter cards and you have to score here and do that. And yeah, I'm just like, I feel that these are just easier because you have just, a few pieces that you have to score and cut another bit, but that's it. Ha! So Louise is saying I could use a craft knife to cut along the edges. I would say, Miss Louise, me and the craft knife are just not good friends. And Elizabeth is mentioning that she ends up sometimes cutting a sliver of the main cardstock, which is what happens to me all the time, Elizabeth. So now we have our two pieces, just identical, and we're going to go and fold these also mountain. So we have one. All score lines are going to go mountain. Okay, there we go. It is important that these kind of folds into each other. I feel that that just makes you certain that you scored these the right way. Okay, one. And again, it's definitely important to really, really work with your bone folder to crease well those score lines. So this is very simple. And we are going to do the same thing. We're going to bring, here it is. I was looking for my tear and tape. We're going to put a piece of tear and tape there and a piece of tear and tape a little bit lower. You guys know I'd rather have two good tear and tapes, two good pieces there, especially with these interactive cards. I just feel that they are needed. If you want to use glue, that's probably better. But like I said, I just want to make sure that we're able to, there we go, that we are able to get this done. Not quickly, but get this done. So I am putting the tear and tape on both of those areas that we cut the edges. So I'm going to call them the end flaps because that's how how I see them. So these are the end flaps, and there's where that is, where I am going to cut, or adhere this. Susie's giving a good advice, and it's using a bigger shear to cut. It works better than the smaller fussy cutting ones. You're totally, totally right, Susie. I am in complete agreement with you. Okay, guys, are you seeing well? Is this clear to you? So the one that has only one score flap, so this one has two score lines, right? The one that has one will go on this area. And so what we're going to do, let me remove this like this, is we're going to align this edge, so this kind of diagonal edge here, we're going to align it with the edge of our main piece. Okay, So that's where we're going to put that one. And I'm going to bring my, take your pick. We're going to remove those pieces. And again, without pushing, we're going to do that again. Let me see if I can show this. So I am aligning this edge of the flap against the edge of my main piece, and these edge, so the, I don't know how to call it, like the frontal edge with this other edge. In other words, we're like that corner should be should be well aligned. And I'm going to bring it up here so you guys can see what I mean. So remember, here is that edge, we cut these two, and these like fit very, very well within this main piece. Okay, so I'm going to give that a good push so it actually glues. And this piece needs to be down below like that, but this one needs to be extended. Okay, so this is the piece that will move. So that I'm just going to do what we did in the other one. I'm just going to turn that back, take off the backings of our tear and tape, and we're going to adhere that. Okay, and we're going to fold these just to make sure it's all working well, and it is. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the other one. So again, I'm just going to remove those backings now of the single score or flap, and we're going to again align, kind of like center that corner. So we're aligning this edge and this and the other edge with the main piece, and it should all look fairly good. And I'm going to press there. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Take backings. I don't like taking the backings. It takes some time off to do that, but definitely tear and tape is my fave for these cards, right? Like we've had that conversation. And so all I'm going to do is get that there, and we're going to close to make sure this is all closing correctly. So that is the mechanism. It's folding perfectly okay. And now we're just decorating. So I'm going to remove all my little pieces from here. Oh no, we have two other areas. I'm just kidding, guys. I kind of forgot the next step because that happens. Okay, so remember we had those two other squares that we cut. So we're going to bring in here. Whoops. We're going to fold these, guys, not a big thing. Fold where we scored, right? So we created those flaps. I can see that these are kind of overlapping. And so I'm not sure if that affects or not, but I don't want to find the hard way. So I'm just going to remove that overlapping in there, okay? And just like we did before, we're going to fold these in the middle, okay? So that is one, and we're going to do the same with the other one. So again, we fold, we increase that edge, and do the same on the other side. And just like it happened with that one, guys, this one is not overlapping, but let me bring it up here. But can you see that it's overlapping the middle there, like a tiny bit? Yeah, I think you can see it. I'm just gonna chop a little bit so it's not overlapping that middle. And like I said earlier, I really don't know if that affects the card or not, because her videos, so Trusty's videos, are not, she doesn't talk in the video. She just puts the measurements and you just see her doing. And so that makes it a little bit complicated to see some of details. So I don't know if that affects or not, but might as well, right? And this part is kind of just as easy in the sense, so wait. So these and these flaps are going to be glued in here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the same. Yes, I know. I'm going to bring our tear and tape. And we are going to, whoops, there you go. Just put some tear and tape on those flaps. And it's nice because they are 5/8 of an inch. And so it's a little bit bigger than our regular, like our regular tear and tape. They're a fourth of an inch. They fit really well. well. Both of them fit really well without one being on top of the other, right? And so, okay, here it is. So both flaps needs to be attached in here. So let me put it this way. So one will be attached here, the other one will be attached here. Okay. So I am just making sure that I'm not gluing this incorrectly, because I did that for my template. I was not paying attention, so I did that. And I am going to take the backings of one side, and this is most likely going to be the top, the side that goes along the top piece. So here it is, making sure it's all correctly. And what we're going to do, let me try to make this a little closer, is I am going to align again these diagonal line we had done before. We are going to, like that corner here is going to go align with this corner here. Okay, so this is the corner from these piece that we glued earlier. So this is going to go, they go aligned together, and these top piece will go parallel to that score line on the top area. So I hope that makes sense. If it does not make sense, I'll explain it again in the other piece. That's the advantage of having two pieces, is we see it done twice. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just folding it back, and I am going to go ahead and glue. Okay. And just like we did before, we're just going to make sure that that is actually closing well, and it does. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay. So let's see. 2 pieces of tear and tape. That makes me very happy because I feel it's going to be safe. I know I have said this before, but in case I forget, when you are doing some of these like interactive cards, guys, and you want to do embossing, dry embossing, so like emboss like these pieces, I do not recommend it. I always try and I always fail, guys. It's pretty consistent. It feels to me that the tear and tape does not do very well with the embossed area. Glue does. So if you're working with glue, well, it doesn't really matter. But if you're not, then it does matter. It's Carrie is saying it's Maria Simple. That is quite funny. And we're going to do the same thing. And I was talking and not paying attention. Hi, Laura. Welcome. I took the backings from the one that's going to go on the lower area. So I can push this down, but it's the same process. So this diagonal score line, right? And the point in here is going to be aligned to this corner of the second piece we put in. So this kind of rectangular piece, okay? So we're going to line them. I'm trying not to push. I'm holding this with one of my fingers, and then this is going to be parallel to the top piece, so to the score line in the top piece, okay? And now I think it's working okay. And back, very simple in that sense. We just turn it back so we don't have to struggle with how do I put this and how do I tape it and whatever. Put the tape beforehand. And now we close again. And it's closing. Woohoo! It's closing. I'm going to move a little further now. So this is our mechanism. Sorry. This is what's going to create that beautiful butterfly effect. You'll see. It's really cool once it's done. Now we're going to bring the decoration pieces, and I have them here in my little area. So I don't need those yet. You are going to need 4 pieces of, so let me see. You're going to need 2 pieces of, and I have the measurements here, guys, because I can't remember them. These measures 3 by 3.5, and this goes in the top, and you're going to need 2 of those. In best case scenario, they are all together here, and then you're going to need 2 lower ones that they measure 3.5 by 2.78. So they're just an eighth smaller. Okay, I'm going to start with the ones in the top, and we're going to work this through. Okay, so what I did in this one, kind of what I was telling you guys, this is very, very beautiful. This one, this paper is like, I just love it. So what I did was choosing the papers that have more or less the same color. So that fresh freesia and the mossy meadow were like my defining colors, quote unquote. And as long as they had some sort of that, or enough that is noticeable, those were papers that I were going to use, or that I could use. So this one in the front here, these ones are the ones that go in the top, and these is going to be glued on here in the top. So we're going to put glue in here, enough glue so it's well glued, and we're going to line these with this edge. Okay, so kind of what we did before. We're going to not center, we're going to line here with that corner and make sure that it is okay with both corners. I mean, with both sides, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to press this for a second, right? So it glues. That's the first one. And now we're going to bring the second one. And this is where I use that paper from the memory pack. This is just a piece of them because I really like those dots and they match so good with that. And then this is just another piece. I was trying very, very hard to use just this piece, but it was too big. So I decided I like it enough that I am going to just cut only this piece and use that. And yeah, that's kind of what I did. And this is a little bigger, so this is going to go, this is this exact same size of our lower layer, but it just really looks so beautiful. That's sending all my love in all those same colors. And I am not going to pop this up. I'm just going to put this in here, and we're going to go ahead and align this center as best as we can. Remember what I've said, I am just eyeballing, but if you need to put it up a little bit, it's always better to put it higher than for it to be lower. And just kidding, we need the big mat, so we're going to go ahead and adhere. Remember that all those measurements will be in our PDF tutorial that will be available to you tomorrow. I'm not going to lie, guys, it's been busy, and I got a surprise for you on Friday morning. You'll see. I don't want to say it out loud, but I have a surprise for you. So be ready for Friday morning, because I have another video that will go up in the morning, and because of that specific reason, I was not paying attention. Because of that specific reason, I did not have time to kind of do a little bit more of what I wanted to do because I was not paying attention, and we all know that happens to me all so often. I put glue where I shouldn't, right? So glue needs to go in this top triangle. I'm gonna let this kind of go dry for a minute or two, and just to make sure, because we're here, I'm gonna put some of I'm gonna bring our little powder pillow, and I'm going to put some on it, and it will help kind of really seal that so it's not all sticky. That's much better. And now I'm just going to, just like we did before, I'm going to add those two right there. So aligning with this side and with this side. So with the top, I guess with the right edge and the lower edge, and then I'm going to press there so that gets glued. So that is our first and I'm making sure it all fits and it's all folding well, and it does. Okay, so there is our first spot. And now I have two different sets in here. One of them, guys, I am going to leave pretty simple, just like that, because these will fold flat. So you'll be able to write something in here if you want it. The other one I meant, let's see. The other one I had meant to make it, I think this is, I didn't cut this well, guys. So let's get another piece. I don't know if I had another plan, but that's not gonna work. So we need a piece that is 3 1/4 and 2 by 2 and 5/8. 3 1/4. So yes. So I'm just gonna cut a piece here of 2 and 5/8. And I just have everything and anything here. So, and then we're gonna turn that around and cut the 3 1/4. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why it is not cut correctly. That's interesting. I'm gonna go there in the back for a minute. I'm gonna dry emboss this. And I have been using the Dashing Designs 3D embossing folder, guys. And I just like love it. Love it, love it, love it. And that's the one we're going to use today. So I'm not going to bring all the materials out there because I have everything right there on top. Sorry, guys, it's noisy. Okay, so I'm bringing this beautiful. So this is our beautiful piece. I just love how this looks. I really, really like how white looks when it's dry embossed, guys. It's just so gorgeous. Okay, now my glue is rebellious, and of course when that happens, blop, there it goes. So this piece is really going to be stuck to our fresh freesia. And we're going to go ahead and adhere this layer. And adhere this to the other layer. So bottom line, I'm going to leave, oh come on, why is this happening? I don't know. I'm going to leave that one, so the other side is going to be completely in white, so we can, okay, this is very annoying. I am not even sure why this is not going through, but I still have one of my my good friends, my good pins in here, and I just love them. So we are going to, hopefully this now works. There you go. For whatever reason, it was getting all stuck and I don't even know why. And we're going to bring some decorations for this piano, but the other piano is going to be completely white because like I said, you have the opportunity to write something in here because it does fold completely flat. And if you already have a clue of who you're going to send this card to, then you can write it beforehand, of course. But if you don't, then it is very good that it folds flat. Okay, so there we are. So there's two of our next two pieces. And now where do these go in here? So two things, you can move them all the way against the inside of the middle score line. So the score line here in the card, and so they end up being just almost the same. You can move them a little bit further that way if you want. And so let me show you here. So when I did the first one, I aligned it here, but you see here, I think this should be bigger, but I did not have time to change that in my brain. So what I am going to do, I'm going to move this a tiny bit towards the left in this case, so I don't see this corner, right? So if I move this here, then that's going to do that, cover that. If what that means, guys, is, and I will put that in the PDF tutorial, is this could be this, instead of 3 1/2, this could be a little Yeah, this could be a little bigger, right? Maybe maybe 3 3/4. I think it could be that bigger, that much bigger. This one cannot change, but this one can change. Bottom line, I'm going to move this all the way there so it covers that corner. And what I need to do, guys, is just put the glue in this triangle without putting glue on that scored flap that we had created earlier. And I'm aligning here so this is well aligned there and making sure again that I covered that edge. Okay. And I'm going to bring this other one and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put glue here and make sure that it's covering that corner there. And there you go. Okay. So I'm going to give this a couple of seconds. In the meantime, I'm going to bring some of our details in here. And I have a little bit of extra flowers. And I think that's what I'm going to use in here. Let me see, guys. So I'm putting them all here. So what I did is using the dies from Flowers of Beauty. They have something I really like. So they have like just the flowers. So you can create 2 flowers or a flower with 2 petals kind of. And so I made a couple and I'm just going to bring one in different colors. So I have, see, I have one that is Blackberry Bliss and Fresh Freesia, one that is Blackberry Bliss and Petunia Pop, and one that is Petunia Pop and Fresh Freesia. And I just can't put them whatever I want, right? Like there's no rhyme or reason for these flowers. So it's just a tiny decoration there in that area. You can bring other stuffs for example, and it could be I'm just thinking about this. I can bring this beautiful let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that one. I'm going to bring this beautiful flower, and that belongs, and guys, I forget the name because I don't know. Let me show you so you guys can have a good laugh. So I always tear things so they fit better, but I actually tore the thing that have the description of the name. And so I don't know how these are called. I can't remember right now. But these are the butterflies that came with the perennial lavender suite. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put this one in here, something like that, right? And let's go ahead and add that. We'll just bring some dots of glue around our little butterfly. And I'm going to put it right there. And now just add the flowers. And like I said, the rest, this one is going to stay white. So I can write, in there for the person that's going to go for, okay? So that is the inside of our card. I'm still too close, guys. There we go. So I was telling you that these measurement can change. So the top measurement can change because as you guys can see, it fits exactly in there. And now our card is pretty thick. So you can, of course, create a belly band. I did not think of a belly band for this card, but this is where it looks like a butterfly because it's flying there. You see? That's why it's called butterfly, I guess. So you can totally create a butterfly in here. I chose to just use paper, but you can totally, like, I don't know, look for polka dots and put them here. I guess I'm thinking of a ladybug, guys. But anyways, you can totally make this kind of fly there, and I really like. So let's go ahead and work on the front. So this is thick again. This is pretty thick. We put quite a bit of cardstock in here, but that's why this cannot go further because these needs to be right. The 3.5 fits perfectly in here. Okay, so I'm going to put these there. We're going to work on the front. The front is going to be simpler in the sense of when I have these beautiful scenes, I cannot do a whole lot to it. My brain just does not want to. The first thing I have is these pieces are from, let me bring it up here. So it's called Unbounded Love Dies. This belongs to the Unbounded Beauty. Oh, guys. Yeah, I think Unbounded Beauty um, suite, right? And so I love these dies. I did not get the stamp set for these dies, but these dies are to die for. And this is very cool because they have like little, what I call sentiment dies, right? Like you will fit almost any sentiment in here. And so I am using these two dies. Thank you, ladies. I am so glad that you like it. I am using these two dies to create, we'll see. Hopefully it all works like I am thinking. So I'm just going to glue this little piece that has that dear friend, and I'm going to center this as best as I can in that piece. And I'm bringing this up here so I can see it better, guys. Right there. It's fairly straight, right? I would say. And what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to bring my crocodile. I know it's not crocodile, but the crocodile always, it always just confusing for me how to say that. And I'm going to choose the smaller. So this one, guys, this one has a bigger hole and a smaller hole. I'm going to choose that smaller hole. And what I'm going to bring is I'm going to create a hole right here. You see how it has like that indentation? It seems like it's calling for you to make a hole in here. So my thought is I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to align that hole there with, there's the white. I can see some of the white, so I don't want the white, of course, but I'm going to center that, and I'm going to create a little hole in there. And then I'm going to make another one in here, just the same. So center there as best as I can, guys. I'm barely seeing what I'm doing. Okay, and now our crocodile goes back into the swamp. And I have this piece of ribbon. This piece of ribbon, I think, is still available, guys. But it was from our previous mini catalog, and it was called Cheer Ribbon. I'm using this one just because I have a lot of ribbons, guys, and I have to use it. I have said that many times. I have to use my ribbons. So I'm gonna push this through underneath. I'm gonna push this back up. Sorry, guys. Thank you, guys. I'm so glad you like it. I was very excited making this. But really, we have to thank Miss Trusty Patil. Okay, so I'm making sure that this sort of it's well connected there. What this is going to be are what's going to help us lock this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a bow in here in the end. So I need to really push this. I think that will do. So I have enough there for a bow on this side and enough there for this to go around, right? Okay. And that is our first. Hi, Mitzi. I'm so glad you like it. So that's our first step. Now, I'm going to put this right there. I brought, so these are all dies from those Flowers of Beauty dies. Yeah. And I did get two pieces. This one is in Mossy Meadow, and it's going to be in the quote-unquote dark. And this bigger one is in Old Olive, and it's going to be like the frontal one, right? I don't need these two big pieces, really, but I am going to cut a tiny, let me see. I'm going to cut a tiny bit in here. I don't need these to be that big. And this one is going to go in the back. So this was going to go around there, and this one is going to go all the way there, right there. Okay, and what I'm trying to figure out is that this is going to be right there in the corner, and what I want is for this to cover these two pieces, so we don't have like the things in the lower back. So now that I have that there, I'm going to hold that for 1 minute, bring my glue, and I'm going to keep it there so I don't like lose my spot kind of setting. And I'm gonna just put some glue around, guys. I'm not too concerned. It's not like, you know, it's gonna fly anywhere. I don't know. And I'm gonna bring the other side and do the same thing. A few dots here and there, the top, obviously, so it sticks. And here's the last one. So this one has a bigger area that I can put glue, but then the top and right, we're just applying glue where this is going to stay, and I don't have to lose that position area. And now I'm going to move this one a little lower. So back with my little dear friend in here, I'm going to move this a little lower like that. That I think works well. Yeah. Okay. So that one, I am going to put some glue on the tops, just like we did before. Being mindful of not moving this too much so it sticks where it needs to stick. That was a disaster, guys. Did you see the amount of glue that fell in there? Guess where we're going to put some flowers? Right there. There it goes. Oops. And one extra in there. Okay. And I'm going to put some extra glue here in the lower area, even if it's too much. That was too much too, but I think that's going to work. Okay. One more second. This foliage is from Flowers of Beauty Dyes. Elizabeth is asking about it. Okay. So there we go. That's our little foliage. Let me put it back in here because when you see it from far away, it really looks like it's being sucked by the background, but when you put it closer, it does not. And what we are going to do now is I'm going to add these. Where are my little dimensionals? Here are my dimensionals. And actually, I am going to use, I'm going to use this one. So this is straight lines. I think it does much better if we just use a straight line there, right? Makes sense? So I'm just going to cut a bit of it. And we're just going to put a straight line here. And the next one, actually, I actually have a little piece of one of our strips, foam strips, that's going to work perfectly in here. And that will leave some space in here. So this will actually move a little bit in case we need more on one side or the other. And now we're going to add these right there in the corner. I want it in the corner, guys. Again, I just like this so much. Okay, and now we're going to just come with our beautiful flowers. It's the same color combinations we talked about earlier, and we're going to put some of them with dimensionals, some of them without dimensionals, and it's just going to like really pick this up, right? Make this really look beautiful. And again, some of them with dimensionals, some of them will not have dimensionals. I'm going to put, remember where we made that mess? It was right there. So I'm going to put one flower there. I'm going to bring this one that has Blackberry Bliss. I'm actually going to put glue on that one. And I'm going to, oops, sorry guys. I'm going to put it a little bit there, like inside or underneath our sentiment. And here's another one. This one was actually a leftover, so it has like two big ones, but I don't think anybody's going to notice. But just in case, I'm going to put it there. Just in case, you just never know. And there are some extras with just the petunia pop, and I'm going to put that one there. Holding those for 1 second so they get stuck. And I'm just going to bring one extra one, and I think I want another, sorry guys, I'm thinking. I think I'm going to bring the Blackberry Bliss, and this one is going to be on a dimensional, and I'm going to put that one up the way up here. And I think that's good. Lastly, we are going to bring some of these. These are the They are called, maybe, they're called Adhesive Backed Pearl Trio. And they are in the current catalog, guys. I really like this. These pearls are gorgeous. I should probably leave them here because you can probably see them better, right? And I'm gonna go with this, with the, I guess these are kind of like fresh freesia color, right? So let me move some of this stuff out of the way, guys, because I have everything and anything here within my space, and it's really affecting. And I'm gonna bring some of them and I'm gonna put them in our flowers. And I'm gonna put them in all the flowers. Just like that. First of all, that way I use them, otherwise I don't use them for whatever reason. There we go. Oh, I had another one. Another little flower. I have 4 more flowers. And that is our card. So let me bring it up here so you guys can see how beautiful that looks. I am going to close this with a half-made bow because you guys know how much I struggle with my bows. That's no news. This could be in the middle. Yes, I chose this. True. I'll show you the other card. It's a little bit different. So, but yeah, it's very cute. Okay, so there you go. So you have like little bow here in the middle. It holds it together, and then you open it, and ta-da! I really, really like how this looks, guys. And I really like that it folds flat because it's just easier, right? Okay, let me remove all my flowers here out of the way. I absolutely love this paper. And here is the other card I made. It's a Christmas card, guys, I know. But it's using that beautiful paper that we still have available. I think it's called Traditions of St. Nick. And these are just cutouts. These I colored because you guys know how much I enjoy coloring. And then we're just going to open this, and this is the one that I'm struggling. You see how much it struggles because I had to put extra glue on this because this is what happens. You see? I'm glad that I can show you that I am not lying. So this is what keeps happening, and it is that I'm going to fold this flat, and this goes there. That my, like it just does not glue well against the embossed paper. But oh well. So I had to put some extra glue in there. Uh-oh. You can see the mess in there. It's hard to see, which I'm glad. So I'm just going to remove my messes in there. There you go. And that's not noticeable anymore. So this is our second card. But this is what I was telling you, that I was not paying attention. And I can see those 2 corners, and those drove me nuts. So I figured, obviously I need to do something different with that other one. And this is just the paper. I love this paper. This is colored, and just a little note from the stamp set. It all belongs to, I think it's called St. Nicholas, the set. And that Traditions of St. Nick kind of goes with, or matches with this stamp set. Okay, so there you go. 2 cards, not too many. I'm sorry about that, but sometimes it happens. And there you go. So 2 cards we have today. I hope, guys, that you really enjoyed today's video. It is a beautiful card to make. It's totally worth it. You can play here with this so much, right? To put just your DSP, to put some of those, like I was showing you, the memory packs. You can bring the new ephemera packs and put them in here. I mean, there's just so many options in here to play with this too, with this card. So I do invite you to go for it. 2 things. The PDF tutorial will definitely be ready tomorrow, not today. I told you guys it's been busy, and so I don't have it here yet, but it will include all the measurements. And I want to show you this. So this is why I think this one, it's okay if it's a little bigger, because this only moves up and down. See, so if it's a little bit bigger, I don't think it'll be any problem. And it should be bigger on the 3.5 side. So I would say 3 3/4 would be probably enough. So this is just bigger without making it here. But if you see it this way, it kind of looks like, the bigger it is, it's going to look more like a butterfly, I guess. And here it is, right? I can do this all day long, all day long. It's so much to play with. Thank you, Adrian. Yes, don't forget to give me there a thumbs up. And I'm so glad, Elizabeth, that you like it, and I'm so glad that you like it, Carrie. Thank you so very much to for being here, and don't forget to not use emboss folders, because that definitely gives it a, an issue when you're gluing. Oh, Ida is saying thank you for the PDF. My pleasure, guys. I'm very happy to do that for you. And I know that people download it and people send me pictures of their cards, and that just makes my heart happy. Okay, ladies. Well, let me come back up here. There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all your support and all your thumbs up and all your, warmth and all your care. I wanted to promote something, although I'm not promoting it, but sort of mostly, like, I'm not making any. But let me show you what I got today. I got this huge water mug thingy. But look, so it says the other way, he has a plan and I have a purpose. And if you know, you know, I am in love with my water thingy. I'm in love with it. So just letting you know, I got that. I'm very excited about it. Thank you, Nicole. I am so glad you like it. Yes, when your wrist is doing better, you can absolutely. And then don't forget to send me pictures. I really like that. And you can send those to Maria and mariascraftingcorner.com. There it is. And I just love them. So please send me pictures. Two things. So I may, let me see. So Friday, it's my anniversary, my wedding anniversary. And so we have plans for the dinner plans and whatnot. And so I am thinking two things. One is, I have not decided, but I will let you know via Facebook. I may go live, let's say around 3 instead of 6. I took the day off, so I could do that. Not because of that, but I took the day off, so I can probably do a live around 3, or I may just pre-record the video and upload it at 6. So I've not made my mind up yet, but I just want you to know that most likely, or not most likely, there's going to be a change on Friday due to that. And I will be seeing you next Tuesday, unless I decide for the live at 3, which is a possibility. Okay, well, ladies, thank you. Oh, thank you, Adrian. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you guys being here. You're always like rock stars, and I know I don't know where I would be without your support. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have a thank you, Carrie. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening and of your week. And hopefully we'll be seeing each other on Friday. And if not, see you next Tuesday. Thank you and have a good one, guys.